One city held more wealth than the rest of the world combined. 1,000,000 people, 1,000 cultures, a single throne holding it all together. But greatness this size always attracts enemies from within. This is the rise of the greatest empire the world had ever seen. After centuries of division and war, a new dynasty emerged, promising unity and unprecedented prosperity for China. In 618 CE, the Tang Dynasty rose to power, inheriting a fractured empire desperate for stability. The new rulers rebuilt Chang'an into a capital unlike anything the world had witnessed before. The city was designed with breathtaking precision, its avenues wide enough for entire armies to march through to Chang'an's gates open wide, welcoming merchants and travelers from every corner of the known world. The Silk Road, already centuries old, now fed directly into the wealthiest capital on earth. Foreign kingdoms sent envoys to Chang'an, eager to establish diplomatic and trade relationships with the new dynasty. Tang emperors reinforced the trade routes their predecessors had built, ensuring safe passage once again. Ambitious emperors looked westward, determined to expand influence far beyond China's traditional borders. Within decades, Tang influence stretched deeper into Central Asia than any Chinese dynasty before it. Chang'an quickly grew into the most cosmopolitan city on the planet, home to nearly 1,000,000 residents. Persians, Sogdians, Koreans, and Japanese lived side by side, each contributing their own traditions to the city. Markets overflowed with goods from distant lands, spices, glassware, jewels, and fabrics rarely seen before. Foreign music filled the streets, introducing entirely new sounds and rhythms to Chinese cultural life. Wealthy Tang nobles eagerly embraced foreign fashions, foods, and entertainment as symbols of sophistication. Religious diversity flourished as well, with temples, fire altars, and churches coexisting throughout the capital. Buddhism reached new heights of influence, supported generously by emperors eager to demonstrate religious tolerance. Poetry and scholarship flourished alongside trade, producing some of the greatest literary works in Chinese history. Legendary poets captured the spirit of the age, celebrating both the beauty and complexity of Tang life. A revitalized examination system allowed talented individuals, regardless of birth, to rise within the government. This meritocratic system attracted brilliant minds from across the empire, strengthening the government's overall competence. Massive infrastructure projects connected rivers and roads, strengthening trade both within China and along the Silk Road. Improved transportation allowed goods to move faster than ever, fueling explosive economic growth. Throughout the empire, prosperity spread beyond the capital, transforming provincial cities into thriving centers of trade and culture. Students from Japan, Korea, and Central Asia traveled specifically to study within China's renowned academies. Chinese artisans blended foreign influences into their own traditions, creating entirely new artistic styles. Tang pottery, famous for its vibrant glazes, became treasured luxury items traded across the entire Silk Road. These goods traveled westward, carrying Chinese artistic innovation into markets across Persia, India, and beyond. Imperial gardens showcased exotic plants and animals gathered from distant lands, symbols of the empire's global reach. Court music itself transformed, blending traditional Chinese melodies with rhythms borrowed from across Central Asia. Grand festivals filled the calendar, celebrating both traditional Chinese customs and newly adopted foreign traditions. Buddhist pilgrims continued returning from India, enriching Chinese scholarship with newly translated sacred texts. Advances in printing technology allowed literature and scripture to spread faster than at any point in history. Literacy expanded significantly as printed books became increasingly accessible to merchants and scholars alike. Japan sent regular diplomatic missions, eager to study and adopt Tang governance, culture, and technology. These missions profoundly influenced Japanese culture, shaping its architecture, law, and administrative structure. For centuries to by the mid-8th century, Tang China stood as the unquestioned cultural and economic center of the world. Chang'an itself had become larger and wealthier than any city Europe or the Middle East could claim. Tax revenue and tribute poured into the imperial treasury, funding grand projects across the entire empire. Emperor Xuanzong presided over what many historians would later call the true peak of Tang civilization. Decades of peace allowed arts, commerce, and scholarship to flourish. Without the interruption of major conflict, the Silk Road delivered wealth on a scale previous dynasties could never have imagined possible. Foreign kingdoms competed to send increasingly impressive tribute, eager to maintain favorable relations with the empire. Scholars meticulously documented this era, aware they were witnessing something historically extraordinary as it unfolded. Magnificent pagodas and temples rose throughout the capital, funded by the empire's seemingly endless wealth. Religious art reached extraordinary heights, blending spiritual devotion with the era's remarkable technical mastery. Foreign merchants lived comfortably within the capital, protected by laws designed to encourage continued trade. The emperor himself became a symbol of this golden age, celebrated as the center of a thriving world. Never before had trade, culture, and governance combined so successfully across such an enormous, diverse empire. For a shining moment, it seemed the Tang Dynasty might maintain this golden age forever. Emperor Xuanzong, secure in his empire's success, increasingly indulged in the pleasures of court life. His devotion to Consort Yang became legendary, inspiring poetry, art, and gossip throughout the entire court. Extravagant festivities became routine, showcasing wealth accumulated from decades of successful trade and governance that foreign-born generals, including those of Sogdian and Turkic descent, rose to powerful military positions. Among these rising figures was An Lushan, a commander who earned the emperor's personal trust and favor. An Lushan's influence grew rapidly, eventually commanding one of the largest armies within the entire empire. Some officials grew increasingly uneasy, quietly warning that such concentrated military power carried real danger. Confident in decades of peace and prosperity, the emperor largely dismissed these growing warnings entirely. In 755 CE, An Lushan shocked the empire by launching a massive rebellion against the Tang throne. His rebel armies advanced rapidly, catching the unprepared imperial government completely by surprise. Panic spread through Chang'an as citizens realized the capital itself now stood dangerously vulnerable. Emperor Xuanzong was forced to flee his own capital, abandoning decades of glory in a single night. Chang'an fell into rebel hands, its former glory replaced by fire, looting, and widespread destruction. Amid the chaos, Consort Yang was forced to die, blamed by desperate soldiers for the empire's crisis. Years of brutal civil war followed, devastating the very infrastructure that had built the Golden Age. Trade routes that once carried unimaginable wealth now carried refugees, fleeing widespread violence and destruction. Historians estimate the rebellion and subsequent famine cost millions of lives across the devastated empire. Though eventually crushed, the rebellion permanently weakened the empire's once unshakable political and economic foundation. The Tang Dynasty survived, but never again achieved the same unquestioned power it once commanded. Regional military governors gained growing independence, slowly eroding centralized control from within the empire. Trade slowly recovered, though the golden confidence of earlier decades never fully returned to the empire. Later historians looked back on this era with both admiration and sorrow for what had been lost. Centuries later, archaeologists would uncover remnants of a capital once considered the center of the entire world. The Tang Golden Age proved that even the greatest empires remain fragile, built on trust as much as wealth. Next time, on the entire history of the Silk Road, the Abbasid Caliphate rises, and the West reshapes the road.